When people hear the word luxury, one name almost always comes to mind: Dior. But the story behind this iconic brand isn't just about beautiful dresses and expensive perfumes. It's a story of art, war, taking massive risks, and completely changing how women dressed forever. It is the story of one man's vision that brought beauty back to a world recovering from darkness. Today, we're diving deep into the full, fascinating story of Dior from its humble beginnings. It's becoming one of the most powerful and influential fashion houses in the world. Get ready, because this is a journey through history, style, and revolution. Christian Dior was born in 1905 in Normandy, a coastal town in France. His family was quite wealthy, and they had big plans for him. They hoped he would become a diplomat or a politician, a respectable and stable career. But Christian had a completely different dream. He wasn't interested in politics. He was obsessed with art, beauty, and design. As a young man in the vibrant 1920s, he followed his passion and opened an art gallery in Paris. He had an incredible eye for talent, showcasing works by now legendary artists like Pablo Picasso and Salvador Dali. It seemed like he was on the right path, surrounded by the creativity he loved. But then, disaster struck. The Great Depression hit, and his family's fortune crumbled. He was forced to close his beloved gallery. In a short time, Christian Dior lost almost everything: his money, his stability, and his sense of direction. It was adrift with his artistic dreams seemingly crushed by harsh reality. The years that followed were difficult. As World War II descended upon Europe, life in Paris changed dramatically. Fashion, once a symbol of Parisian glamour, became muted and practical. Fabric was strictly rationed, and women's clothing was designed for utility, not elegance. During this somber time, Dior worked quietly as a designer for other fashion houses, honing his craft and learning the ins and outs of dressmaking. But while he was creating these simple, functional pieces, he was dreaming of something much, much bigger. These years of scarcity and suffering profoundly shaped his vision. He believed that after enduring so much hardship, women didn't just want new clothes, they deserved beauty, fantasy, and joy again. He was waiting for the right moment to bring that dream to life, a dream that would be a radical departure from the bleakness of the war years. That moment came in 1947. At the age of 41, after years of working behind the scenes, Christian Dior was finally able to launch his very own fashion house, backed by a wealthy textile magnate. On February 12th, he presented his first ever collection. No one, not even Dior himself, could have predicted what would happen next. The collection was a sensation. It featured designs with soft, sloping shoulders, cinched-in hourglass waists, and incredibly full, voluminous skirts made from meters and meters of luxurious fabrics. It was the absolute, complete opposite of the boxy, fabric-sparing styles of the war. The editor-in-chief of Harper's Bazaar famously exclaimed, "It's such a new look." The name stuck. The press dubbed it the new look, and in that instant, fashion was never the same again. Some critics were outraged, calling the designs wasteful and extravagant in a time of post-war recovery. But women around the world fell head over heels in love. The new look was more than just fashion. It was a symbol of hope, femininity, and a return to optimism. Almost overnight, Christian Dior became a global phenomenon. The new look wasn't just a Parisian trend. It was a worldwide revolution. Women everywhere wanted to capture that ultra-feminine, elegant silhouette. The House of Dior quickly expanded to meet the overwhelming demand. It wasn't long before the brand branched out from haute couture into perfumes, accessories, and ready-to-wear fashion, making the Dior dream accessible to a wider audience. The legendary Miss Dior perfume was launched in that same pivotal year, 1947, named in honor of his beloved sister, Catherine, who had been a member of the French Resistance. The fragrance quickly became as iconic as the dresses. Christian Dior understood that he wasn't just selling clothes or products. He was selling a lifestyle, a complete vision of elegance, grace, and luxury. He was building an empire founded on the idea of making women feel beautiful. But just as the House of Dior reached its zenith, tragedy struck. In 1957, only 10 years after his revolutionary first collection, Christian Dior died suddenly of a heart attack while on vacation in Italy. He was only 52 years old. The fashion world was thrown into a state of shock and disbelief. The man who had single-handedly redefined post-war style was gone. The entire empire he had built seemed to rest solely on his personal genius and vision. With its founder gone, the future of the House of Dior was deeply uncertain. Many people inside and outside the industry believed the brand would collapse without him. How could Dior possibly continue without Christian Dior himself? The immense pressure to save the fashion house fell on the shoulders of a very young man, Dior's own assistant, a shy but brilliant 21-year-old named Yves Saint Laurent. In a bold move, he was appointed as the new creative director. His first collection was a huge success, modernizing Dior's signature silhouette with softer, more fluid lines. He proved that the brand could not only survive but also evolve with the times. Over the following decades, a series of talented designers would take the helm, each leaving their own unique mark on the house while respecting its core identity. Designers like Marc Bohan brought a classic, refined elegance for over 30 years. The flamboyant John Galliano introduced theatricality and fantasy. Raf Simons offered a minimalist, architectural modernism. And today, Maria Grazia Chiuri has infused the brand with a powerful new voice. Today, Dior remains one of the most revered and influential names in fashion. It stands for a timeless blend of elegance, power, and femininity. The brand masterfully balances its rich heritage with forward-thinking ideas, creating everything from breathtaking haute couture gowns to street-style-influenced sneakers and bags that become instant cult classics. Under the direction of its first female creative director, Maria Grazia Chiuri, Dior has also embraced a new dialogue about feminism, identity, and the complexities of modern womanhood. Her famous "We Should All Be Feminists" t-shirt became a cultural touchstone, showing that a luxury brand can be part of a larger conversation. Dior continues to set the standard, dressing celebrities for the red carpet and defining trends for the season ahead. So, why does Dior still matter so much, more than 70 years after its creation? Because Christian Dior did more than just change silhouettes. He reminded the world that clothing is not just functional. It can be emotional, powerful, and deeply meaningful. He used fashion as a tool to restore joy and inspire dreams in a world that desperately needed them. From the post-war hope embodied by the new look to the modern empowerment championed by its collections today, Dior continues to shape the way women see themselves and express their identities to the world. It's a legacy of beauty, resilience, and constant evolution. So the next time you see a Dior dress, a bottle of J'adore, or even just that iconic logo, remember it's not just fashion. It's a piece of history. It's a story of a man who dared to dream of beauty in dark times and, in doing so, changed the world forever. If you enjoyed this deep dive into fashion history, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more stories like this one. And I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Do you prefer the classic, romantic Dior of the past, or the bold, modern Dior of today? Let me know below. Thanks for watching.